All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. I'm WCA3 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty, along with Seth Bonoff in the studio here with us tonight, as we are going to be. There he is. Talking about some snow here. A lot of you have been hearing a lot about this potential for snow coming up here, not just tonight, but especially for next week. I know a lot of you may be sitting there. You've been watching the Illini game, and it's halftime right now. It's not so great. So we just want to give you a little bit of an update here before we get you back. You guys get back to watching the Illini. Maybe hopefully pull out a victory here in the second half. Let's talk about what's happening right now. And right now we've got snow building in here from St. Louis over to Springfield tonight. And as a matter of fact, we have already started seeing some areas that have had some snow tonight, basically out to our west. As I mentioned, the St. Louis area having some of that snowfall. And we can take a look at that here on our camera. It's not a whole lot, and a lot of it has been melting. We switch over. This is actually a camera on the St. Louis University campus, and there's some snow, but look how a lot of it just looks like wet pavement there, because a lot of that snow is melting. And we're going to have some similar things kind of happening here once we get some of that snow going here locally. So it's kind of a couple rounds of snow that we're going to be dealing with. So nothing there in Danville right now, but just in the last little bit, I've started to see a few radar returns coming to us in Springfield, and that right there, normally we're able to kind of see the Capitol pretty clearly. They're actually starting to see some snow over in the Springfield area right now, and that is exactly what is showing up on our radar picture for tonight. So let's go back to that and show you what it is showing in terms of where we've got snow and where we don't just quite yet. There's a donut hole right now over Champaign, Decatur, but that snow is falling from near Springfield to Taylorville right now. So there it is. You can see that area of snow that we've got. And so that's going to continue to kind of creep in there to Decatur before too long, and then right its way right up along I-72 and eventually fill in here for other locations like Champaign and Danville and whatnot. But as of right now, obviously, we're not seeing anything here in the Champaign area, but that snow is coming. So let's kind of put a little bit of a loop on this where you can see just how it's developed in the last 3 hours. And really, it's kind of been that area down to the south and west that started to kind of fill in. We've had some activity up here, kind of north of I-74, but some of that not exactly reaching the ground just yet. But now we're starting to saturate that column of the atmosphere, and we are getting snow set to move in. So here's what it's actually going to look like on the future track as we go throughout the course of tonight, as things begin to fill in here and ramp up for us over the next few hours. This is not a long duration snow event. It's only going to snow for 4 or 5 hours, and then it's going to pretty much be out of here. So we see that kind of ramping up there after midnight. But look how it already starts backing off in places like Springfield. So, like I said, it may snow between now and 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in Springfield, and then for places like Champaign, it may snow between, say, 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. or so. So you're not going to see a long duration event with this, and a lot of this may start to kind of melt away. Look at that, by 7 a.m., a lot of the snow has kind of pushed out of the region. So that's kind of round one that we've got. So there's your snow kind of coming through. But notice how an area there between I-55 and I-57 matches up where maybe some heavier snow would occur. When I say heavy, 1 to 2 inches. We're not talking about anything that's shutting things down here tonight. But it is something that could bring us some light accumulations here. Taylorville, maybe on the east side there of Sangamon County to Decatur, coming into Champaign County there. But there might be a little bit of a cutoff where some of that warmer air is in place, especially down into maybe Cumberland, Effingham counties, down towards Clark County there. So we kind of think this swath right here from Pontiac to Bloomington, 1 to 2 inches. But keep in mind, if you're watching us right now, maybe up late here tonight, maybe you're going to bed after the Illini game, 10:30 after the news. If you're not up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. to go out and measure that snow may be gone. If you sleep in on a Saturday, at 9 o'clock in the morning, that snow is going to melt away pretty quick. So kind of keep that in mind here, that if you're a big snow lover and you want to see the snow, you're going to have to stay up late or get up really early tomorrow morning for this event that is coming through. Here's the thing. The person right here is going to be with us back in the morning. There's Seth right there.
That's right.
And Seth, you're going to be talking about some of the snow that's going to be coming through in the morning.
That's right. Yeah. And kind of the good thing about this is, that first major storm of the year that we're kind of looking at Monday into Tuesday, it all of a sudden, this one kind of helps us for that just a little bit, not necessarily because it's going to impact us that much, because it will be an overnight thing, but just kind of get us ready, kind of get the preparedness, techniques here kind of mastered just the night before any kind of major impacts are expected kind of thing. But it will be nice just for some of us that have been missing some of that snow to see it to a light degree tonight. And of course, if you are staying up, it'll be a nice little chance to see some of that. But yeah, certainly not exactly the same thing that we're going to expecting a few days from now, but still something that we haven't seen in a long time. We haven't seen really a snowfall event that is projected to give us more than 1 inch really anywhere all season long.
It's been a while. And if people want to catch your reports in the morning, what time are you live there in the morning?
We will be live 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We've got about 5 different hits spread out every 10 to 12 minutes, I believe. So we will update you, keep you covered, and of course, relay whatever happens tonight and keep that moving forward.
So that's this round one for tonight. But I know a lot of you want to know about next week. Next week's kind of the bigger one that we've been kind of talking about a lot as of late. So let's just get you a little bit more information on how that one is going to be playing out. Just quickly here, I'll show you this last little graphic concerning tonight's snow as far as travel goes. Kind of showing you when travel would get kind of the worst. Obviously, we don't have anything through 9 o'clock here. I think we get to midnight. Midnight, 3 a.m., those travel conditions for a brief period of time could deteriorate. So if you got to travel overnight, just be careful there. And even in the morning, 6 a.m., like I said, a lot of the snow is going to start to move out and it's going to melt. So I even think you're good, close to 6 a.m. points thereafter as a lot of this kind of moves out of the area. Okay, let's talk about next week. Big system you've been hearing a ton about. Area of low pressure tracking into the area and is going to be bringing us the potential for some snow, and it could be a large system. This thing is huge. Just look how big this thing is. And this area of low pressure, we measure this in millibars, okay? And you hear that a lot of time when we track hurricanes, they measure this, and the lower those millibars are, the stronger the area of low pressure is, that's the stronger the storm. This one, showing on some of the models, now, for some of you weather geeks, you're going to get some of this 984 millibars. So really low pressure. And you can kind of convert that into inches of mercury, which is what you may be used to if you've got a barometer at home. And that number is going to be like 29.3, something like that. And the normal is 29.92 is like normal sea level pressure. And we're going to be like way down. So that shows us it's a really strong storm system that could kind of move through here. The $1 million question is the track of that low, because it is the northwest side of that 100 miles, 150 miles on northwest edge of that. You get this heavy band of snow that is really the big story for wherever that low is. The problem is this thing is so far away right now that it takes a bit to kind of figure out where it's going to land eventually. Look how areas here, kind of Champaign northwestward, is where that rain snow line is. It kind of meanders a little bit, sets up a little bit more through Tuesday. But there may be a large area, a chunk, that sees a lot of rain and more areas to the northwest that see snow. So the way we kind of look at it right now, again, is we're just kind of painting where we think the highest likelihood of accumulating snowfall that could be significant is going to be. And that's going to be up here, Watseka, Bloomington, Lincoln, Jacksonville. But this may shift. There's still a lot of time here to figure this out because, again, this thing is almost like 2,000 miles or so away. May have to update that a little bit from earlier today, but that system that you just started to kind of come on the northwest coast, and it's going to make its way through the middle of the country there and bring us potentially some snow. So here's some of the key takeaways for next week. We think it's going to be a mix of rain and snow that begins late Monday, really lasts through Tuesday there. Heaviest snow along north of I-72. Worst travel probably Tuesday, but here's the other thing. Winds are going to gust to 40 miles an hour. Snow over 4 inches possible, but that's not for everyone. I don't want everybody to think you're going to get this huge snow out of this. It has the potential to get there, but there's still time for a lot of changes. This man right here is going to be with you all weekend, and he needs, he's going to tell you some great updates on Saturday and Sunday. What do you think about this storm system here, Seth?
It's one of those things that it's best just to kind of sit back and watch it happen. The best thing we can do in the meantime, days out, we've been saying this even all week long. Here we are on Friday still talking about it. We don't have specifics. It's just because so much can change. You don't want to see what a model says or what all the models say on Wednesday and say, this is what's going to happen, because then you get to Friday, you notice stuff like, oh, it's starting to trend a little north, maybe looking a little rainier than before. You just can't say anything definitively this far out. That's why it's going to be key to tune in this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, to kind of see how things are trending, because come Sunday night, that's usually when we start to get those snowfall maps ready to go, because 48 hours out is about as comfortable as you ever are in advance of an event for accurate prediction, at least.
That's right. And, so I'm telling you, Sunday night, tune in before you go to bed there. We're going to have a lot of information, on how that storm system is going to play out for us. All right, we're getting ready for the 9 o'clock newscast here. And Seth's going to be on there with you if you want to tune in for some more updates on that, look at some of the new model data. But again, we are tracking snow right now. That is starting to move in from Springfield. And again, it's already snowing there in Springfield. We can see that on our camera where we can't hardly see the Capitol right now. So snow continues tonight, 1 to 2 inches possible. And we'll watch for that big system for next week. All right, guys, I know the Atlanta game's back on. Probably some of you tuning back into that. And again, our 9 o'clock newscast is coming up here as well. We'll for you to tune in. Thanks for joining us here on this update on all of our social media platforms. For meteorologist Seth Bonoff, I'm Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty. Have a good night, and we will talk to you guys again soon.